Hey, everybody, let's ask you a question. Are you struggling with distractions? That's the question of the night. Do you have ringing phones, constant text messagings, emails coming in that are distracting you, social media scrolling, wandering around the house aimlessly? Well, tonight in this stream, I'm going to cover 4 tips to help you eliminate distractions so that you can finish a project or an important task. Welcome to Purposeful Productivity. If you're new here, I help leaders eliminate productivity friction so you can accomplish your purpose. Let's get into it. I want to first see who's out there and welcome you to the stream, and we will continue on at that point. So let's see who is in the building with us. I want to say hello to our moderator. Frank Jackson is out there, and as other folks come in, I'm going to go ahead and welcome you in. I want to make sure that you know that I'm here for you again. And I didn't tell you my name. My name is Florence. So let's just go ahead and start. We're going to start with some tips here that you can really use. The first one, the first one is committing to eliminate distractions. Now, why did I start with committing to eliminate distractions? Well, because to accomplish this goal, you literally must make a decision. You must decide that this is something you want to do, that you will do. Everything else comes after you make the decision to commit to eliminate distractions. And let me just say this is not for everything. I often hear people say, colleagues, clients, friends, family say, I would get so much done if I didn't have all these distractions. Well, what is the thing that you want to eliminate a distraction for or multiple distractions to accomplish? It's not everything that's, those thousand actions on your action tracker or your to do list. It's not the 300 projects. What is the thing that you are focused on that you want to eliminate distractions to achieve? So make that decision first, and that will help you. Now, let's go on and fill in some other details around this. Are you committing to finish an important project or a task? I'll give you an example. Today, there was something I had been saying I was going to do for weeks, and I hadn't done it. And I went through this process. I was like, just stop. Stop, Florence. Stop finding every excuse in the world to not do this task. And and it didn't take a long time. I did step one, and I'll tell you what it was. It was to wash the shower liner in one of the bathrooms, the shower curtain liner, the plastic thing, to wash it. And I took it down and took it to the washing machine, put it in, turned it on. Now you would think that is such a simple thing, but it's something that had been bugging me for weeks, and I had not done it. So I committed that I wasn't going to do something else. I wasn't going to start wandering around the house aimlessly and then still be irritated by this thing. So what is that thing that you're holding on to? And I promise you, there is something. I'm not saying I've accomplished everything, but I made I've made progress on this one thing, which was, and I actually will say thank you, Denise, because it's something when you said it on your live stream that you did it, and I was like, I've been avoiding this, wandering around the house doing everything else except washing this dang on shower curtain and a liner, and it's driving me insane. I took that thing down, and I was like, you can't use the shower until you wash it. So guess what? Get to getting. Eliminate all the little things that you're putting in front of it so it can stop driving you crazy. So whatever that project is or that important task is, and it does again, it doesn't have to be huge. It can be something relatively small, but you're allowing distractions to keep you from doing it. We all have it. I have it too. I am truly not saying I'm perfect. I am so far from perfect in this area, which is why I'm talking about it, because I need to address some things. So that's one thing. The reason you make that decision, and you make a decision to no longer procrastinate. You make the decision to no longer look at the project or the task list without having a concrete real action step to take. For me, the for this one thing that I was procrastinating about, the the concrete step was take the shower curtain liner down so that you can't use the shower until you've taken care of washing the liner. Right? I it sounds kind of maybe I'll just say I'll put it on it. It sounds simple, but it wasn't for me. So I had to have something real, concrete to do to stop worrying and fretting and having anxiety over this one task. If this resonates with you, let me know. Let me know. We got some other folks in the chat. Let's go ahead and say hello to them. I want to just say hello to Miss Denise. She says, get to getting. Yes, love it. Yeah, I had to get to getting. I've been putting off doing a review video, just putting it off. Okay, well, tonight will help you because there are things that are distracting you from doing that. Good evening, Miss Inanea. So glad to have you in the building with us. And yes, happy Friday, Live Tribe. Thank you, Emotional CEO. And let me just say this. You may be watching, but you're not commenting. You're still part of the Live Tribe, and I'm so glad to have you here with us tonight. And later on, if you want to put a comment in when you're not with the children or something, absolutely put a comment in and ask questions, y'all. Ask your questions. Ask your questions. Share your thoughts. And the Emotional CEO says that is a good point. The simplest things are always the things we tend to put off until the last minute or beyond irritated by it. Yes, beyond irritated. Beyond irritated. That darn shower curtain was making me want to cry. So, yes, share your thoughts. Put your questions in. Of course, remember to put a Q colon in front of them. So we've gotten through tip 1. Tip 2 then is find a way or make a way. Find a way or make a way. What do I mean by that? That means sometimes you've got to connect with other people, connect with the community who have folks in it who have the knowledge and the skill that you need. Now, that sounds real simple. How many of y'all out there are super women? Today is International Women's Day. And many of us have been socialized to be super women. Like, I can do it. I got this. I don't need no help. You're either fooling yourself. You not either. You are fooling yourself because you're not fooling anybody else, me included. Fooling myself. I ain't got it. I need help. This shower curtain, which again, simple thing in our life, but it's something in our home we have to deal with that we haven't dealt with, and it start with something simple to build momentum. It was when I listened to Denise Jordan on Homemaking with Denise talk about she got up in her zone cleaning and got the shower curtain done. I was like, Florence, there is no reason. Just make the commitment. What's the next thing you got to do? The next thing I had to do was take the darn thing down out of the shower. Connect with people who have the knowledge and the skill that you need. It could be much more serious than that. It could be how to do a video edit. It could be how to install something. But whatever it is, connect with the community. There are lots of folks who are willing to help us. And the other thing I will say is be willing to start where you are with what you have. Start where you are with what you have. My example, because I've had to start, I am very slowly beginning to learn to edit video. Something I've never done. I don't have a designer eye. I don't have a filmmaking background. My brain doesn't think that way. But I made the commitment to stop being distracted about what I didn't know how to do and start where I am. I didn't even go buy software. I'm using iMovie. There are those who would laugh at me. I don't care. What I care about is starting where I am with what I have. And again, I'm going to credit Denise Jordan because I remember having a conversation with Denise about the tool she uses and to edit videos. And the reason she uses it is because it was what she had, and she knew something about it from when she was doing other work. She didn't go do a whole lot of new stuff. She just used what she had, started where she was. Again, my encouragement, that support that I needed. Get out of my way, stop wandering around the house, stop finding ways to be. Oh my goodness. I don't even know how that came up, but somebody needs to tell me because I don't know how that Nightbot came up on my channel. I have no idea. It says at James Hicks, questionable judgment, step spamming, caps warning. Oh, okay, y'all. Ignore this thing because I don't know what I did. I was playing with it and it turned on. But anyway, so start with what you have, where you are, and be willing to make 1% incremental improvements. 1%, not a ton. Not at the end. Be patient with yourself. Give yourself time to learn the skill that you need to learn. My movie editing example, it's not sophisticated. I'm just learning. And I'm not allowing what I don't know to be the distraction to stop me from learning the skill that I need to learn. So for you, whatever that thing is, it may be writing, it may be writing a project plan, it may be driving, it doesn't matter. Whatever it is, it may be cooking, it could be anything. But start where you are with what you have. Give yourself the permission to make 1% micro improvements each time you put in a rep to do it. And be patient with yourself. Okay? This is a big one. Do not talk to yourself in a way that you would not allow other people to talk to you. Maybe I'm just talking to myself here. But I can be so hard on myself in a way that I wouldn't allow someone else to be hard on me. So the way I fight that or combat that tendency is my affirmations. I have them on my computer. I have them in my planner. I have them available to me in my phone so that when my head starts talking in a way that I would not allow other people to talk to me, I pull them out and read them. Let's go back. I saw some other folks show up. Mr. James Hicks, thank you for being in the building tonight. Yes, thank you. I need help with that thing because I was trying something. I didn't think I turned it on, but apparently I did, and I don't know what I did. See, starting with what I have, where I am. Denise said, get rid of the Nightbot, please. Okay, get rid of the thing. All right. So let's go on to number 3. See, you got to start where you are with what you get. The third one is designating space. Now, this one can be a little deceptive because the space is physical space, but it's also mental and emotional space. It's unseen. unseen space. No one can see me or you making the space for ourselves to implement these changes so that the distractions don't get the better of us. I'm going to talk about some physical things that I've done recently, even. The desk where I am. I had a whole bunch of books piled on here because you know I love books. I've moved them. I've straightened out and put everything in a way that it makes sense so that my hands will naturally go to it. Now, for me, this is just one area. Determining where I will do the work. Making the space for my shower curtain was making sure the washing machine wasn't full, making sure I had the right cleansers for the shower curtain, giving myself permission to go do the thing instead of being distracted. Whatever that emotional as well as physical space is for you, do that prep work so that you're inspired to go do the thing. Sometimes making that space is hearing someone say something that hurts a little bit, but it moved you out of your own way so that you could move forward. My brother is good for this. He will say something to me because he's around me and he recognizes how I function to snap me out of myself so that I can see what I am or am not doing in a different way. If this is making sense to you, put a 1 in the comment. Just put a 1 in there. It's making sense to you. If I need to go further, let me know. But whatever your space is, if it's physical space, set that physical space up so that your brain remembers what you're going to do when you hit that space. Okay? In my office, where I am, my desk is set up a certain way. My tools are laid out a certain way. Y'all know, here it comes. This thing is always very near me. Okay? It's close to me because it's something that is important to me. But the other things, and I'm going to talk about these a little bit later, are my eyeglass cleanser and the cloth specific for the desk. Why? When I walk in here, I don't want to have to be looking for anything. If I'm in the kitchen, and we have this habit, so this is again making space, designating a space. When we're getting ready to cook, either one of us, myself or my brother, that morning, we lay out everything we're going to use to cook. If we're going to be chopping vegetables, we'll put the vegetables in a space. We'll get the knife out, the cutting board, all of that. If we're defrosting something, we'll take it out and put it on a tray and stick it in the refrigerator so it'll defrost in the refrigerator. So we make space for the thing that we're going to do. That's really, it's just that simple. It's being intentional. And then that's also our trigger to remind us of what we said we were going to do. So make space, however that works for you. Laying your clothes out, whatever. But just make it comfortable and inviting so that you're not avoiding it. You don't have a reason to procrastinate, right? The last tip I'm going to tell you is enjoy your tools. Enjoy whatever tools it is that you're going to use for your task or your project. Every project, every task require a tool of some sort. I'm going to make it simple just because I'm not going to get up and walk around here and do this. Don't laugh at me. Well, you can laugh and you can judge. It's really okay. I'm a pen person. Fountain pens are my love language. I don't use Bics and all of that, like at all. I don't even have any. So nice writing instruments are very important to me. May not be to you, but I'm very particular about the type of nib and all this kind of stuff. Some days I want to use this ballpoint. It also has a matching fountain pen. Some days I want to use this fountain pen. Some days I'm all sparkly and I want to use this fountain pen because it's full of sparkles and it's very girly. Some days I'm being very utilitarian and I need a big hefty ballpoint. Doesn't matter. It's something that I enjoy and I want to use. Why? I write. Okay? The reason I love this book is because the paper in it takes every kind of ink I could possibly want to use, and it's thin. This is a whole year of monthly calendars, weekly calendars, and daily calendars. The entire year, and this is how thick it is. So the paper is super thin, and it works with everything. There are times, like I did when I was preparing for today, is where I just need to jot down some quick notes. I'll use these little things. These are not Post-it notes. These are little cards that I use. And when I'm done with them, I chuck them. But whatever tools you use, make them something that you enjoy. Home, for me, I don't use paper plates, paper cups, none of that. Never have. I don't like them. So I use regular dinner napkins. I use cups and glasses, nice cups. But that's not because I'm trying to be anything other than I just don't like paper plates and plastic cups and things. And I don't have them. I don't buy them. But for me, they're tools that I use that give me joy. So everyone is different. You have to know what that is for you. James Hicks, the man got some tools galore. He's got some tools. It may take you time to find them. Hey, Gretchen, so glad to see you. Gretchen is a photographer. I can only imagine, because I'm not a photographer, I can only imagine her lenses, her camera bodies, other things supporting her art that she uses in her travels. And I would imagine there are things that give her joy just picking them up to use them, just using them. So find those things that give you joy, those tools that give you joy to use in whatever the project or the task is that you've been avoiding because you're allowing procrastination and distraction. Distraction, you're just allowing it. It's not other people. I hate to tell you that. It's not other people. It's really, truly you yourself that's allowing the distractions to happen. So let's see what folks are saying out there. And I just want to say hello to this young lady. Hi, Gretchen. Thank you. My pen game, it's a problem, y'all. It is a problem. I have a lot of them, like hundreds of them. Yeah, Gretchen says, my camera tools are in a group by themselves. And I would imagine you really love them because you're serious. Oh, James Hicks. Speaking of tools, my prompter just arrived, setting it up. You will love it. I love my prompter. It keeps me focused more than not because I can put my bullet points up, my reminders up. I can, in meetings, Zoom meetings, it is the bomb because now I'm looking at the people I'm meeting with instead of off to the side because I've got this curved monitor off to the side. And NNA, I said this, but I want to make sure. She said, writing on recycled paper and using gel colored pens are my love language. I tried gel pens. I'm not sure what it is about my hands and gel pens, but fountain pens work for me. Okay, you're not supposed to be telling everybody everything. More of a pen aficionado. Years and years and years of collecting and asking questions about them, learning to use them. And James Hicks says, work towards becoming 1% better each day. Love it. Yes, 1% better. It doesn't, whatever it is, start where you are and just realize you're going to get 1% better each time you put a rep in. Each time you put a rep in, you'll get a little bit better because you have a time to reflect and say, okay, what didn't go quite as well or quite as smoothly as I wanted it to go? How can I just tweak this one little thing? And that those small incremental improvements, what they really do is they set you up with wins. And the more you win, the more you want to win. That's really what happens. The more you win, the more you want to win. So I'm going to encourage you to go ahead and ask any questions that you have. If you want to connect with me in terms of asking questions about things that I use, there are links in the description. I don't have a link to this in the description, but I can put it back in. And if you want a smaller planner, I will share with you this one, which stays right here on my desk because I use it. James Hicks, you should recognize this. Y'all, this is James Hicks's book, his planner and journal, Stay Focused on You. Great questions. And so these are tools that I use, and so they stay near me, and I use them consistently, and they make a difference. And when I get in that distracted state, I go back to paper and pen because now I'm not looking at the phone. I'm not looking at the computer. I can sit at the bar at the kitchen. I can sit on the sofa. I can sit in an easy chair. I can sit at the dining room table. I can go sit outside and just get thoughts out of my head and work through it and get quiet time. So again, I make that space for me to do that work. I hope this has been valuable to you because these are really tips that I employ when I just allow myself to get completely distracted and I'm not accomplishing the things that need to be accomplished, and I'm working through it. So I thought I would share this on today because International Women's Day, and us women are really, really good at taking on the world. And then we've got so much going on that we will literally, well, I'll put it on me. I will be wandering around the house aimlessly and can't figure out what I'm supposed to be working on. And I know then I need to stop and go through this process. Stop. What is it you got to get done? Commit to do it. Get the tools that you will enjoy using to accomplish that thing. And make the space, the emotional, mental, and physical space to get it done. That's all I got tonight. Gretchen, thank you, lady. I'm glad. Yes, pen and paper for me. I have all kind of computers and iPads and all this stuff, but when it really comes down to it, I've said it and I'll continue to say it. My best tool is simple pen and paper, whether it's making a grocery list or me to focus my mind on accomplishing something just today. That simple little, jot it down, look at it, it's moved out of the way. So I'm going to check and see if I see questions. Frank says he's on his way to get a pen. I don't see any questions here. Let me just do one. Gretchen is sharing the secrets. Thank you. These are, they sound so simple, but so many people don't do it. So many people don't do these simple things. And we got a question, so I want to make sure I answer it. I noticed that having certain scents and sounds help motivate me. Do you find that tapping into all your senses help remove distractions for you? Mostly. So let me just say this. Yes, I'm a scent person. We're either burning candles nearly all day, every day. The fragrances I wear. We also use the room diffuser things with the sticks. You see one up here, and they're just everywhere. Cause we're like, yeah, scents. and and so yeah, using that now for me, sound is not good. I need silence. Um, Occasionally, I can listen to soft music with just instrumental um, when I'm reading, but most of the time, if I need to concentrate, I need quiet. So I'll put earphones in, noise canceling earphones in, so that sounds are blocked out. So that works for me. But definitely, the sense, the touch. That's one of the reasons these kinds of things are important to me, because it's the way they feel and look, even smell. Um, to me, I use them, and they do motivate me to want to use them. So that those senses are important. This is another one that I use for a different purpose, but they're usually it's the same kind of thing. Um, if that helps you, if that answers your question, Inanea, definitely those are things that make a difference for me in the way I function. Um, Denise says I'm like that too. I need quiet if I really need to focus. Yeah, I was that way as a kid. I just need quiet. I can't. My brain just it won't focus. It won't think. It'll just kind of I don't know. It goes somewhere. It leaves and it won't come back. So, yeah, that's quiet. Um, Hey, a brother of a certain age, welcome to the stream. If you have a question, please let me know. And Gretchen says my writing tool of choice is a big fat pencil like the kind used in kindergarten. I have them everywhere. Years as a primary school teacher endeared them to me. Using that big pencil grounds me. Awesome. That's a tool that is useful to you, and it inspires you, and you enjoy using it, and that's all that matters. Secret, I have a pencil stuck in here, and it lives in here. Occasionally I'll change it and put a pen in here, but I've found there are times when I just want a pencil and I just stick it in here, and it sits right here in the pencil sleeve in this book. So pencils are great as well. So if there are no other, are there any other questions? I have a question for you all. What topics would you like me to cover around this whole, mindset, productivity, getting friction out of the way? Um, if you have topics that you want me to cover, let me know. Put it in chat. Um, Oh my goodness, quiet is optional for me. 35 years as an elementary teacher taught me to work and write in amongst the chaos of kids. Yeah, that would do. Yeah, that would absolutely be the case, because they would be making all kind of noise. They need noise. I was the weird kid. I didn't like all the noise, even as a kid, growing up. Um, but and thank you for raising generations. Thank you for educating generations. Some of my a story. My ninth grade chemistry teacher, my ninth grade counselor, and my 11th grade chemistry teacher are two of the closest people in the world to me. They made that much of an impact on my life. Um, if you have topics well, I don't even know if I do creative writing. Question for creative writing: what is your pen of choice? It's going to be a fountain pen, and I have to tell you, it depends on fountain pens. Some days I like what are called piano pen nibs, which is you basically have two tines and it writes, because the design was so that if people are drawing writing musical scores, but I use them to write with. Some days I want a really fine nib, some days medium nib, some days it's red ink or brown ink or purple ink or pink ink or orange ink. I use all kind of colors, and I've got bottles and bottles and bottles of ink to go with the fountain pens. So it really depends. Some days I will just, but it's almost always fountain pens. I rarely do creative writing with anything other than a fountain pen. And a lot of times it's one like this that's sparkly. I've got a couple of these. These are Benus. They're Russian pens, and they're not unlimited. They're limited. And like I think this one's one. I think like 100 of them were made in the world. So you can't just go buy them, pick them up everywhere because there's not tons and tons of them. So I usually use one of my Benus because they're always sparkly. They put a lot of sparkles in them. Denise says, I need to learn to manage video planning, apron business, and more. Some kind of tool to help me keep track of who I sent what or where when I need to follow up. That's a really good one, Denise. Yeah. There's some ways you can do that. There's definitely some ways you can do that. One of the things that I've started doing, Denise, and I'll work through making some videos to help with this, is as I've added, if you will, products to my content creation, I separate them each into their own product. And I track what's happening with each one. So the newsletter is one product. I have a members only newsletter that I send out once a week for my members who are paid members. They get it once a week. That's its own thing, and the content in there doesn't go anyplace else. The live streams are their own thing. If you've noticed over the last couple of weeks, I've started Motivational Monday. That's its own thing. So each of these, and then I have coaching clients as well, and then I do consulting. So they each are their own bucket, and I've had to separate them and split them so I could keep track of what's happening, what's going out for each one, who I'm talking to, for paid coaching clients, who's paid, who's not paid, who's I've sent a proposal to, who hasn't responded to, who do I need to follow up with. So I have systems in place, processes and workflows in place for all of that. So I can certainly share some tips with you for those things. Yeah, Aubrey, she shares love of fountain pens. That's so nice to know. Yeah, there are a few of us. This whole fountain pen world is, I got my brother in the fountain pens even. He was like, I don't like those. Now he likes them. So, and you provided headphones for your students who needed quiet. Aw, you know, teachers, you all go way, way, way out of what's needed, what's necessary, what's called for to provide for your students. So I see, and Denise, you were a teacher as well, I believe. If I recall correctly, you said you taught nursing? You taught nursing? Let me know if I'm remembering that correctly. Yeah. So Denise, I got your ideas for video planning, apron business, and more. Keeping that straight. So I'll definitely put together some videos and live streams to address those items more specifically. Okay. Any other questions before we go? If you haven't hit the like button, please hit the like button. Let me know. And subscribe to the channel if you have not subscribed to the channel. And come back next week and we'll have a new topic. And again, I want to say to all of the ladies and those who support the ladies, happy International Women's Day, out here doing the thing that you do that is so special. That remember to take care of yourself as you're taking care of everyone else. Remember to take care of yourself. It has been my pleasure to be with you all this evening. There's going to be a video over here, and watch it, and then I will see you guys back here next Friday, and we do have a special guest coming later in the month. Good night, everybody.